Welcome to Johnson News. I'm Chapman Mornett, here with my co-host
Jensen Nelson.
Today we're introducing a common problem amongst 9th graders, rhetorical devices.
Rhetorical devices are a set of complex words that kids tend to struggling. We're going to interview kids right now.
We're here outside of Mr. Johnson's class after the first rhetorical device quiz, and the kids just finished up, and let's see if we can catch one of the victims and see what they got. Looks like we have one right here. Sir, what is your name and how did it go?
Terrible, and my name is Landon.
Landon, what did you get on that quiz?
I made a 40.
How did you prepare for this quiz?
Yeah, I prepared a whole entire day in advance, and I looked over all of the vocab like 2 times. I don't know how I failed. I don't know how.
Let's see how he truly studied.
Go, Bartholomew, go! Alright, we need to study now. Logical fallacies. Litotes. Juxtapose. Jargon. That seems like enough. Hey, Mom. Oh yeah, I've been studying. Yeah, I've been studying for like probably 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, just the norm. Yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, just playing with Bartholomew. Alright, bye.
Landon, I got an email from Mr. Johnson that you failed one of their quizzes. Care to explain?
Well, you know, it was a super hard quiz, and Mr. Johnson grades way too hard for me, but I studied super well, and, you know, I studied the day before, I studied the vocab all like 2 times, and I don't know how I failed, Mom. I don't know.
Well, how did you study?
I just told you, Mom.
Well, I gotta hear it again. I got mom ears.
I did a day in
A
advance.
day in advance.
Yes.
Let me see that paper. You got an F.
Yes.
You failed?
Yes. I made a.
What did you
I
get?
made a 40.
You made a 40. You could
But
have
you
made a
can't.
50.
You can't make you can't
Was it
determine
multiple
the
choice?
type of person I am because of one quiz.
Well, I can't determine.
And yes, it was multiple choice.
I can't determine how you study. You got an F. You know what this F represents?
Then I'm
You.
a failure.
A failure. A quit.
Maybe you're a
A
failure.
disappointment.
Maybe you're a disappointment.
I am here with Miss Cantor, and judging by these 3 words, what do you think about them and how would you study for them?
Well, because students aren't smart, we need to make sure that we make it easy for them to understand. So sometimes that's not possible, but when I study for words, I like to give words, you know, if I can make the definition a little bit easier, it helps to remember. So like a juxtapose and you're placing 2 ideas side by side, they're gonna cross or close together. So sometimes the ideas are going to be completely different, like students, like some are smart and some are not. I'm guessing you're not, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna, okay. So they're not. So we're gonna place those side by side and they're close, and sometimes ideas are completely. So juxtapose that Jensen is going to be side by side with another smart student. So that's what we're going to do. Lending credence. In arguing her point, a writer or speaker should always lend her opponent some credit. So I would give credit to maybe someone like Chapman because he's going to need all the credit he can get when we're like having a discussion, you know. So lending credence, I'm going to lend Chapman some credence that what he's saying may be of value, even though you and I know that it's not, right? We're going to do that. So that's my lending credence. And then jargon. Do you know any students who, like, when they start to speak, like, it just sounds like, you know, they're speaking, but they're not making any sense?
That could relate to Joseph Meeks.
Okay. You just took a jab at Joseph. Juxtapose, but you're being sarcastic, as I am, clearly. Jargon. So yes, you're going gibberish. They're talking, but you don't understand what they're saying. So those are kind of 3 terms. I would just simplify the definition, but it all depends on how you study. You can either rewrite the definition multiple times because some students are better when they see it. You can put it on like index cards or post-it notes and put it on your mirror at home so you re-see those definitions. Or having someone quiz you back and forth. Don't use yourself or Chapman or Joseph if that's an issue, because then you won't make any better on these grades. So maybe do some post-it notes on your mirror where you see them, or have a friend who's more intelligent than you are ask you the words and give you the definitions.
You heard it here, folks, and thank you very much.
We're outside Mr. Johnson's class after the second week of rhetorical devices. This is a big day. We gave a lot of study tips out to Landon, and Landon ended up giving it to a lot of the students. After the first quiz, a lot of them were struggling, so let's see how they did. Looks like we have a kid coming out of his quiz right now. Let's see how he did. Sir, what is your name?
My name's Jensen Nelson.
And Jensen, how did that quiz go?
A+, baby.
A+. How did you prepare for this quiz?
Studied for about a week in advance and looked up examples on the words that he gave us.
Yeah, what were some of the words you struggled with or prepared the most for?
I had two, and it was analogy and macro, and really it was just a hard time understanding and just trying to dissect the word.
Yeah.
And just looking at multiple examples helped me out a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Really knowing the true meaning of these words is really going to help you out the most. Finding the in-depth in words in a sentence is really going to, bring you up to that next grade. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I did also use Quizlet, which a lot of people do use, and it really does help. You can also create easy tests, matching, really anything on there that can help you study.
Perfect. Here we're at Mr. Johnson's class after our second rhetorical device quiz. Here we're trying to see if we can see if Landon and how he did on his quiz. Oh, it looks like there he is. It looks like he finished. Landon, how did it go? How did it go? How did it go?
An A.
How did you study? Did you use our tips?
Man, honestly, I used all of y'all's tips. I studied Quizlets, I studied flashcards, and I studied about a week and a half in advance, and this is what paid off.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Here we're at our last Johnson News interview with the one and only Mr. Sterling. Today we're talking about our last tips and tricks. Landon, what did you learn this year?
My biggest tips and tricks that I could give y'all is the amount of time that y'all need to study. I really honestly was more of a crunch time person, and I'd only start studying like 2-3 days in advance, which was just not enough. There is 100% a reason that Mr. Johnson gives you all of your vocab words and starts reviewing with you 2 weeks in advance. You need to make sure that you start a solid week in advance and really grind down and learn those words.
For sure, these words are very tough and very confusing to learn, but certain study tips can really help you get through it. The best one that helped me was Quizlet. Quizlet and flashcards were the two things that really got me through this, that I could really study anywhere, not just have my whole entire sheet out, but really have it on my phone and really bring it anywhere.
Yeah, 100% I would agree with Chapman over here. I'd say my biggest thing was using flashcards, because you can write those down, especially if you're a visual and more hands-on person. It helps you memorize those words better. And honestly, that's about all I did was flashcards, and my grade improved from failing grades at the beginning to making solid A's on every single quiz.
Yeah, for sure. The definitions are very tough and confusing, so when you look them up, don't just use one word. Find them in different sentences, different scenarios. It's really going to help you out, because these aren't just word and definitions. They're really just full-on sentences that you really have to find out what the word truly means.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree. So, thank y'all for watching. I hope these tips and tricks really helped you, and I hope you found this video funny.